Hello scrappers, Scrap channel here. Long time since my last video, but I just changed the country. I moved to Switzerland. So, no option for laboratories and chemical experiments, but definitely I changed the country but not my hobby. So now I live in Basel. Basel is a nice place for living, and let me show you some interesting places in it. This is the market square. This is the old cathedral. We also have the huge mighty river Rhine that is going through the city. But from all this I really like this small park. In this small park every Saturday we have the Basel flea market. Here you can find a lot of stuff. And trust me, most of the people perfectly know what they're selling. And prices are everything but cheap. Okay, maybe cheaper than in the shops, but definitely not like on most other European markets where you can find really cheap stuff. Because it's Switzerland, of course, you can find a lot of watches. You can find a lot of silver-plated, gold-plated, different objects, quite expensive, paintings, really many different stuff all around. On the ground, on the tables, in boxes, all shapes. But maybe the most important here is to look for people and to spend a lot of time really searching for the right objects that are on the right price. Like this guy on the ground sells a lot of watches, and I always have good catches there. Also there's a lot of silver plated, like forks, spoons, knives and other kitchen stuff, but prices are everything but good. Nevertheless, from time to time I manage to find some really good objects and to add something to my scrap pile for my future videos. So, on this flea market you can even find 1 kilogram silver bars. Look here. That's what I bought from the flea market today. I bought a pocket watch, this coin of metal, pretty shiny, this religious symbol and this small box. The only object that has any silver mark is this box. It's written sterling on the bottom, not easy to read. No clue about the other ones. One of the possible methods to check if these objects are made of silver is to measure the density of the metal. Density is measured when you divide the weight of the object by the volume of the object. It's measured in grams per cubic centimeters. So, how to do this? First we need a scale. Let's do the experiment with one of the objects first. Here is the scale. And what we do? We will put this small religious symbol on top. Let's do it like this. And we have 2.64 grams. 2.64 grams. This is the weight of the object. Just put a note. Then, how to measure the volume? Volume is not easy to be measured, especially when the object is like with so, how to say, unusual form. So, one of the easiest ways to measure volume of such objects that have irregular form is to submerge them in water. So let me put a cup of water here and let's hang the object on some really tiny wire. I don't want to measure the volume of the wire, I want to measure the volume only of the object. Let's zero the scale and let's submerge the object. Fully submerge it like this and wait. 0.31. Put a note. So 0.31. So what I measured? I measured the weight of the displaced water. And because we assume that 1 gram of of water is 1 cubic centimeter of water, then 0.31 grams of displaced water are 0.31 cubic centimeters. And that's exactly the volume of our object. I just finished the calculations for this small object. I ended up with 8.52 grams per cubic centimeter density for this metal object. I will do exactly the same procedure for the other three, and only for the pocket watch I will measure only the backlit, but it will be a good indication of the alloy that this watch is made of. If this contains silver, most probably the whole pocket watch is silver made, or at least 80% silver. Here we go, table is ready. So I measured the weight of all objects, I measured the volume of all objects, I calculated the density, and I put the pure silver density on the bottom just to compare with the results we got. So no one is pure silver, that's obvious. But what does it mean? What the numbers on the density row mean? Okay, we have the data, we completed the experiment, let's do some analysis. On the left I put the density of some pure metals. So let's summarize. If we get density lower than 9.4 grams of cubic centimeter, most probably this object has very low or no silver at all, the alloy. If you end up with a result between 9.4 and 10.5 grams per cubic centimeter, with some high probability this alloy, metal alloy, has some silver, varying from 30 maybe to at about 100%. But this method is not yes and no method. It gives you guidance. It's not giving you the answer yes and no. Does we have silver or not? And there is a third special case. You may end up with a result above 10.5 grams per cubic centimeter. Then you should definitely check further this object, because this object may have other platinum group metals, may have gold inside also. So especially if it's jewelry. For jewelry you must check if you get result higher than 10.5 grams per cubic centimeter. So guys, really beautiful, really powerful method. I really like it. It gave me two important answers. This watch and this small box are most probably made of silver, because I got results corresponding to about 70-80% silver in the pocket watch and more than 92.5% for the small box. But I will know if this object contains silver and how much when I dissolve this scrap and when I melt the silver. At that moment I feel a little better that I didn't waste my money. But it can be also a fake. Just look at the pure lead, 11.34. This is a really good option to make fake silver. That is soft, but trust me, people know how to make fake objects. So be careful when you buy from flea markets, and if you come to Basel and if you are here on Saturday, you may go to Petersplatz and enjoy 30 minutes walk in the small park, looking at some old stuff and enjoying the time, maybe buying silver and gold. Thanks for watching, keep scrapping, bye!